Welcome back, chess fans. In this video, Firouzja white against Dubov black. They play round 11, and this game will show how difficult it is to win a game at the highest level with high stakes. Knight f3, first move, knight f6, and now Alireza, as we could see in the video, plays b3. Okay, g6 play, bishop b2, bishop g7. What to do here? One idea will be g3, but e3 is played. Castle, bishop e2, c5, c4. Alright, so black here can play d5. Let me show you a sample line. We could go like that. Then we would exchange the bishops. And then here we could do queen c1 with the idea queen b2. But this wouldn't give any advantage after these moves. This is fairly equal. If we exchange, that would be a fairly even position. So instead, Dubov goes for b6. He's looking to put his other bishop on b7. So we have fianchetto here, fianchetto there. Let's see what happens next. g4, take, take. Please note that on knight d4, black would do bishop e7, probably castle, with a battle ahead. But instead, Firouzja play e d4 in the center. d5 plays, and now a nice move, knight e5, right? Because if you go like that, I could potentially go to c6. So bishop b7 played, bishop f3, knight c6, castle, rook c8. So now we have to develop our pieces with white. Knight c3 is played. And here it becomes very interesting. Take, take, and in this position, Dubov find the best move in a position. Feel free to pause the video. Now, obviously, what you cannot do is do knight d4 because you will lose on the spot a bishop. Now, you cannot take here because once again, I take, and win the bishop. And you could do queen c7 maybe, but then I do knight b5, queen b8, take, queen a4, and I like white a little bit better. But instead, Daniil Dubov play knight d7, right? Asking the knight, where do you go next? So take, and here Alireza found the very interesting move, queen a4. And he's trying to attack c6, but also attack a7, double attack. And here you may think, oh, maybe I can move the rook back, but if you move the rook, I'm gonna attack you or attack here like that, and that would be good for white. Instead, queen c8 is a move chosen by Dubov. And here, Alireza picks up a free pawn on a7. Once again, black to play. How do you navigate this position? What is your move? Feel free to pause the video. Now, the most obvious move is to play rook takes c4, picking up the pawn on c4 with equal material. But here, Dubov didn't like knight d5, threatening check. And if you do rook e8, defending rook c1, and you're threatening taking control of the c5, then you could do b5. And here, white would do a4. And now you have a pretty complex position here, right? And I like white a little bit better. Obviously, you cannot take the pawn, but queen c6 will be the only move to survive. Very complex position here. So instead of taking on c4, Dubov attacks the queen. Now, the queen, if the queen were to go to a4, rook c4 would be good for black. So what does Alireza do here? He plays queen a3. Now, of course, black can take on c4 rather, but here, if you take on c4, I'm going to do knight d5. So instead, knight f6 is played. Once again, if you do rook c4, knight d5, bishop f6 only move, and you can do something fancy, like take, and if black takes, let's say like that, we can throw a check, and now we capture the rooks. And we still have a d pawn. We can probably do rook fe1 here, trying to come to e7, play d6. There's still a lot of life in the game. But instead of doing all of these, very nice move by Dubov, knight f6, and now he's saying, hey, knight d5 is your threat. I'm defending about that. How you gonna defend against the c4 pawn? I'm attacking it twice. So knight f6, very classy move. And here, Alireza does queen b3, take here, and here you cannot take on b6 because c3 is hanging, rook a c1, and here another classy move by Daniil Dubov, rook c7. What is the idea? If you take on b6, rook b7, and after the queen moves, we win a free bishop. So rook c7 defensive move here, and now white doesn't have knight d5 because of his excellent move knight f6. So rook fe1 is played, Alireza offers a draw, Daniil Dubov accepts, and that's how they continue the tournament in the top tables. In here you may ask, what would black do here? I think Dubov would I play e6, and look at that. You have isolated pawn here, another isolated pawn here, there's one pawn here, and of course, knight d5 may be coming like that. Black is doing fine. If anything, I like black a bit better here because we have a very solid position here with the black pieces, right? You have more weaknesses with white than we have with black, and these pieces are very well coordinated. So Alireza tried to play for a win with white, and he was denied, and both players finished with the same number of pawns. That shows you at the highest level how hard it is to crack through a very good defender as Daniil Dubov, who, if not mistaken, did not lose any game in the entire tournament, right? So again, amazing stuff, high quality chess, and I see you in the next one.